Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Force here. I've got a best of 3 series for you today between Axslav and DeMusliM. We're going to be starting things off here on Terminus. We can see spawning in the 12 o'clock position is Axslav as our blue Protoss player. And then down over here in the 6 o'clock, we do have DeMusliM as the red Terran player. Yes, this is going to be a best of 3 series between these two players. Starting things off here at game number 1 on Terminus. So we're going to be pretty interested to see how this series plays out. It has certainly been a very interesting day. A whole bunch of Diablo 3 news. Also released the Diablo 3 Lore Series Part 2. Got a bunch of StarCraft commentaries coming out. In addition to that, we'll be working on this week's strategy videos as well. So pretty exciting stuff. And about this game in particular, I am certainly excited to see how this one plays out. We can see DeMusliM will actually be going with the wall off. So the implication here is that he's probably going to be trying to hide some sort of tech. Otherwise, there's really not a good reason to wall off against a Protoss player because you can lose those buildings due to any type of aggression that eventually does come through. Something I've mentioned quite a bit in the past because, well, it's certainly true. So DeMusliM will want to keep an eye as to when and if he does get that refinery. Obviously, that Rax will be going down right now at that frontal wall off once he hits 150, and there we are. So there you go. Coming out with that barracks first. Let's keep an eye at when that refinery does come out, if it does at all. Well, it will come out eventually, but I'm looking for the possibility of a quick expansion. Although I'm guessing he is just going to go 13 refinery. Let's see if that happens right now. Or if he's going to be going 1 Rax expand. Looking pretty close. What is going on right now? Moving out with that scouting SCV. No, never mind. He is dropping that second depot to make sure that no scouting gets done by his opponent. And he will, in fact, be going 1 Rax quick expand. You can see DeMusliM still with no refinery. This second depot incredibly early. He's not even finishing right now. He's just making sure that he gets that full wall off complete. But usually that's not coming until after that first Marine starts building in that orbital command. The fact that he's getting it so early, again, implies that he's trying to hide the fact that he will be going for a quick expansion. So unfortunately enough for Axslav, he will not be scouting that out, although seeing the wall off in and of itself is kind of a tip-off that something funny is going on. Now back over here for Axslav, you can see the gateway is up, Siren X-Core coming on through. We do want to keep an eye as to when that second assimilator does pop out for Axslav. This is a very, very large map. Takes quite a while to get all the way across to your opponent, so early aggression isn't typically as popular. Now we can see right now DeMusliM actually moving back there with the SCV. Very interesting. Let's see what's taking place right now. Marine coming on down. We'll be taking out the probe without issue. There we go. Double Marines with a little bit of micro. And now he's comfortable enough to actually drop that command center right down there. Very, very nice there by DeMusliM. He just needs to make sure that no secondary scouts for Axslav do manage to push on in. And for fear of a stalker, I am going to assume that DeMusliM will be coming out with a bunker right here just to prevent the stalker from being able to sneak on in and actually spot that expansion. So we should be seeing a bunker at some point soon. And it looks like that is what the SCV will be doing right over there. And look at this refinery being built inside of Axslav's base. DeMusliM trying to prevent that second assimilator from going down, force him to stay on 1 gas. Now, what we could see Axslav do, besides obviously destroy this, is he may just respond by coming out with a quick nexus by himself. So we can see right now Zealot moving across the map right now for Axslav. He does not, he does have the stalker up right now that is going to be working that refinery. We'll actually force DeMusliM to cancel that. Don't expect that Zealot to do too much. Now we can see the bunker here just finishing for DeMusliM. And again, as expected, that command center expansion is up. DeMusliM also coming out with 2 additional racks right now. Keep in mind as well, sitting on 2 refineries. So we'll be giving himself a lot of extra Vespene to be able to work his way up into the higher tech right now. Zealot running right into the bunker will be pushed back. And actually needs to be careful because he's going to get target fired down by those Marines. There we go, pulling back just in time. Only lost a little bit of health besides losing his shields, which of course do recharge. So there we go, Stalker moving across the map. We do have Axslav actually working his way into that expansion. And here's another gateway coming through as well. Next step right now for Axslav is going to be getting that robotics so that he can get some good scouting information and spot precisely what DeMusliM is doing. Now, will he be working towards these back destructible rocks? We do have that stalker that will be scouting out to see if DeMusliM decides to push out anytime soon. There are those double refineries going to work right now. Still haven't seen any use of that made. Would like to see if he's going to be going right to a factory or if he grabs a tech lab to try to get some upgrades. There's a tech lab, so we'll be getting some upgrades for his bio, starting off with possibly that stim pack and then working his way on up. And there's that factory as well. So probably sticking bio heavy and then working his way up into medevacs. It's pretty much a unit composition of choice as a Terran player against a Protoss opponent. There's that robotics facility for Axslav as expected, using this to get that quick observer and get some scouting information to find out precisely what DeMusliM is going for. We do have a reactor and a second tech lab coming down, so we'll be sticking relatively Marauder heavy here and then just getting a fair amount of Marines into that mix as well. Working on the saturation over here at his expansion. Axslav, of course, working his way up to getting a strong economy. Now, he's just sitting right now with 2-gate robo. I'm guessing, I'm at least assuming that he's going to wait until he gets that Observer Scout to really make that next decisive step as to what his transition is going to be. All sorts of options available to him still. Now, back over here for DeMusliM, sitting at actually 3 bunkers, fearful of the possibility of a strong early push from Axslav. We also have DeMusliM grabbing a supply depot down here. This is going to allow him to see if Axslav does start to work down these destructible debris, and that way he'll be able to respond in turn. So very, very cool stuff. Here we go. We can see working his way up to a starport as expected. Again, going to be going Marine Marauder Medevac. We've got that stim pack coming through. Surprised there isn't any concussive shell or combat shield yet. He is saving up his Vespian for other things, at least at the moment. So back over here for Axslav, what does he have going on? We can see that Forge coming down. We'll be starting to work his way up into some upgrades. We do have a Stalker guarding position over here. Also Axslav coming down with this pylon so that he himself can keep an eye on these back destructible debris. And yeah, still no major decisions here for either players. There we go. Finally, Axslav coming down with the Twilight Council. So we'll be possibly working his way up to Dark Templar or High Templar, or he could be going quickly for Charged Zealots or Blink Stalkers. There you go, Force. You just gave all the options when dropping down at Twilight Council, but just trying to keep you guys nice and informed. We can see also over here Axslav coming out with that 3rd expansion, so trying to work his way up economically and get a stronger position than his opponent, although it looks like DeMusliM himself will be coming out with an expansion as well. So it looks like this is most certainly turning into a macro-focused game. Again, both players working their way up into their 3rd expansions, working on those upgrades as well. We can see that stim pack just about finished. Here comes that combat shield. I wouldn't be all too surprised if we did see DeMusliM go for some sort of a timing push, although at the moment it doesn't look like he is moving out. And look at that, double engineering bays. There we go. Right as I mentioned it, he is in fact moving out. But yes, with those double engineering bays, we'll be able to continue to work up some upgrades. Oh boy, a Stalker very close to getting dropped. So Axslav should be seeing this push, and hopefully he will be able to respond accordingly. Looks like he is going to keep this Nexus coming on through. Not that concerned at the moment. He is in fact going to be going for some charge upgrades as well as those Templar archives to get those High Templar. We can also see that Stargate coming through, so that way he's going to allow him to get some air units. I'm assuming that's going to be some Void Rays. I don't really expect Phoenixes, although Phoenixes are possible for the ability to be able to snipe down at these medevacs. And in fact, now that I think of it, Void Rays don't make much sense, especially given the fact that DeMusliM is Marine heavy. Void Rays would pretty much just get torn to shreds. Stimmed up Marine, scouting out the expansion right now. So at the very least, DeMusliM is aware of the fact that Axslav has dropped the expansion over here, doing a little bit of damage, so that should get taken care of momentarily by that Stalker, although he's sitting by idly right now and not engaging. There we go, finally taking out the Marine and then moving along his merry way. Scouting factory moving across the map. He already knows about this expansion, but he's just going to push on through with that factory regardless. We have DeMusliM situated at the center of the map. He has map control right now, grabbing these 2 Xel'Naga towers. Hasn't bothered to take the ones on the side yet. Happy with just that center vision that he has. So it looks like Charge Lot, Phoenix, and High Templar is what we will be seeing from Axslav. Pretty interesting build. We'll be very interested to see how effective it is. Obviously, Charge Lots plus High Templar will do phenomenal work against the bio, and then the Phoenixes themselves will be used to Graviton Beam, maybe some of the Marauders, but more importantly to take out those medevacs. So pretty cool build there, pretty cool composition that we are seeing from Axslav. Here moves the Factory Scout. Axslav doing absolutely nothing about it, just kind of chilling out right now. We do have an SCV Scout moving across, and I went, excuse me, geez, coughed right in the middle of that. Wouldn't be too surprised, and there we go, if he does come out with an expansion. So that is pretty cool as well, moving down into his Expo. We do have, oh no, looks like DeMusliM will be losing that factory, although he doesn't expect it to last very long. The entire point of this is that scouting information. Now, he already did know about the expansion, but the other big thing, we get some Phoenixes moving across the map. The other big thing is to check the unit composition as well, which he was able to do there. So we can see those Phoenixes are being pushed back right now. Not sure if he's gotten many kills at all, and we are actually going to have DeMusliM kill off his own destructible debris so that he can quickly reinforce much easier over there with those Marines. There we go, Marines stimming up, moving down to those Phoenixes, but some nice micro there by Axslav, managing to pull those Phoenixes back into safety, and once more, pretty comfortable. We'll just be moving around, scouting, and trying to do a little bit of harass as well. For example, killing off any SCVs on the fringe of the base, trying to build stuff. So very nice there indeed. Stemmed up Marines will be doing a little damage, but not enough Marines to actually kill off any of the Phoenixes here. And so, you know, Axslav was able to take them out. And again, once those Marines do push up into the main, we're just going to see Axslav retreat back to safety, and he can keep this up almost indefinitely until we get some turret placement or better spread of higher density of Marines. Although it looks like those Phoenix numbers are going higher and higher. We'd have DeMusliM over here at this expansion, but look at that. Axslav dropping the proxy pylon and spotting the expansion, and then he's just going to warp in a Zealot or two and see you later. DeMusliM will be forced to lift this off, and then he'll be running into some Phoenixes. So that's actually not looking good at all for DeMuslim's expansion over here. It doesn't look like this will be lasting very long. Again, the pylon is in. We've got a planetary coming through, but before that's going to be able to get in, we will have 3 Zealots starting to go to town on it. So here we go. Oh, no, just 1 Zealot. Please engage. Lifting off. Okay, so DeMusliM forced to lift off there. And let's see if those Phoenixes move down to try to engage that as well. I believe they are going to, but at the same time, we have a big push coming across the map for DeMusliM. DeMusliM moving very, very bio-heavy, and he's got 8 Ghosts in the mix as well. There they are. Wow, lots and lots of Ghosts right now for DeMusliM, and those EMPs are going to do phenomenal work. It's really going to come down to positioning here for Axslav. What is he sitting on for unit composition? Looks like just the Archon, actually not getting a lot of High Templar. He just got enough for 1 Archon, and that is it. Decided to go Phoenix heavy. There's a scan, though, and DeMusliM feeling comfortable again, ready to push. There we go. Archon's leading the way. Few EMPs landed on the bulk of the army, and Axslav, almost his entire army getting EMP'd. The Stim Marines and Marauders going to town. Phoenix is trying to take out some Ghosts. There's an EMP of the Phoenixes as well, and the Marines and Marauders and the Ghost as well, just working through everything that Axslav had. Axslav in a terrible position. He's got a Mothership coming out as well as a Colossus. I don't know that they will be out here in time, though. Very unfortunate for Axslav. We can see that Bay coming out with that Thermal Lance, but look at, there's so much bio still. Those EMPs tore through everything. Now, major problem here, unfortunately, Axslav trying to tech up to that later tier on top of having those charged Zealots and Phoenixes. He just got caught in a very bad timing, and a nice push there from DeMusliM managed to take him by surprise, and there is the GG. DeMusliM opened up this game 1 Rax into expansion, while Axslav opted as well for 1 gate into expand. We then saw both players continue to macro up, moving into their respective thirds. After taking his third, we did see Axslav tech up into Phoenixes and began doing a little bit of harass. However, with a decent response, DeMusliM didn't end up taking too much damage. DeMusliM then attempted a 4th expansion, which got denied due to Axslav warping in some Zealots. DeMusliM then pushed out at the 15-minute mark, very bio-heavy, as well as with 8 Ghosts landing some clutch EMPs, and was able to completely overwhelm Axslav. A major unfortunate situation for Axslav as he was teching up to Colossus and a Mothership, where he provided a few more minutes. He may have been in a better position. Unfortunately for him, though, a nice timing push by DeMusliM forced the GG. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. This was the first game in the best of 3 series here between DeMusliM and Axslav. We will be moving on to game number 2 in just 1 moment. As always, if you guys like the content, please subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.